PhD student, Dr. Rajan sir, at Lab for Spatial Informatics at IIT Hyderabad. My talk is about developing open data framework for real-time weather updates in India, and this is more felt in the context of the landslides that happened in Wayanad 2 years ago. In India, around 10,000 people have been dead in the last 2 decades, and every year about 110 districts get affected in across 16 states during monsoon period due to landslides. Our country has a lot of technologies today to involve every citizen in disaster preparedness. In addition, the government is also providing a lot of disaster warning information to the authorities who are in charge of taking care of the districts. But I think the time is now ripe enough to open and involve the entire citizenry into this disaster preparedness. I feel that the public policy needs to be publicly owned in spirit and letter, especially in a geographically diverse nation like ours. When private mapping firms like Google can tap on crowdsourcing ideas to earn lots of profit, as in the case of Google Maps, why can't our government use OpenStreetMaps and take the help of the citizens and generate more disaster alerts to save more lives? That is the thought process behind this crowdsourcing idea. And Kerala is one state where this particular awareness creation mechanism has been executed very well. Every monsoon season, they conduct talks for general public, delivered by the experts in each domain, like landslides and then cloudbursts, flash floods, and so on. And they also put all the landslide susceptibility maps, flood susceptibility maps in their state disaster management portal, and is free of cost for the public to access. However, the Wayanad landslides still proved that much more can be done. Year on year, from 2018, Kerala has been hit with massive floods and landslides, and there is a need for integrated approach for disaster management. In 2023, a new pilot project was commissioned, which was to develop a landslide early warning system called LUES in Pulampura area in Kozhikode district. But this is a very complex activity because it is based on the GNSS-based tomography technology. And the dynamic part of involved in such systems is dependent on the forecasting of real-time precipitation quantity. And if you take a look at the Indian Meteorological Department's coverage with respect to the rain gauges in Kerala, you can see only a couple of them aligned on the coastal districts of Kerala, whereas Wayanad is located on the Ghat regions. And in Ghat regions, there are hardly any rain gauges that are maintained by IMD. Even 3 hourly and 24 hourly rain maps are not available to the district management. On the other hand, the local district NGOs like the Hume Center for Ecology and Wildlife Biology, they operate up to 200 rainfall sensors. One problem that is observed despite having these many rainfall sensors is that these are not fed back into the IMD's numerical weather prediction service. As a result, a valuable set of information is being lost to give real-time flood alerts and landslide alerts. So, as you all know, the Wayanad landslide is considered as India's largest landslide ever, and this happened in a place called Mundakai, and this is marked in yellow. And you can see the red areas, which is the chain of vulnerable zones, which are located between Wayanad district and the Malappuram district in Kerala. So as of today, there are no online government platforms for the common public where real-time rain information is overlaid with landside susceptibility maps. Such data is very crucial to give a heads up for potentially incoming disaster. There are few private apps operated by individuals. For example, the Kerala Rain app Android mobile phones, but their operations are very, very intermittent. So IMD maps need to carry more details. Today IMD has a website called mausam.imd.gov.in where only district level rainfall alert maps are being provided. But these are not overlaid over Bunidhi or OpenStreetMaps for easy identification in the vulnerable areas. With climate change causing so much extreme weather events, I think it is enough, it's not enough anymore to that only district collectors are having access to these kind of real-time weather information. Because individuals need to take responsibility and start evacuating to the nearest relief shelters if they feel that their homes are not in a safe situation, safe environment. So one thing that holds back IMD from sharing data is the discomfort associated with errors in the prediction. I think that is considerably only marginal, and therefore it can still be shared transparently in real time, and that too in English, so that even foreign tourists who are visiting our country can be benefited by such rain alerts. This is in addition to the local language support. And all the more this is important for those districts that have a lot of hills, rivers and rivulets, because they can get, the rivers can suddenly change their course due to even cloud bursts. And one data point, one finding that I have had is that when I looked into the INSAT 3D maps, I have always found that heavy rainfall tends to start post 6 p.m. irrespective of many places in India, due to the diurnal temperature variations, and they tend to peak in intensity post midnight, and that's when most of the people are deep in sleep. And I have also observed that a lot of district collectors, out of their personal interest, have taken, go an extra mile and have loudspeaker based announcements along the rivers, along the banks of rivers like Pamba, asking people to evacuate. But I think this is not enough, because even with upwards of 10 minutes to 20 minutes, it is very hard to run up hills to for safety, especially if a person is going to be disabled physically or old, or if it's someone is having a child in hand. And of course, a lot of stray animals also died. Even if sirens are issued 10 to 20 minutes is totally inadequate. So there is, this is why I strongly feel we need to open up a lot of data so that each citizen is empowered to take decision regarding their safety. This is our radar network in India. As you can see, this was actually taken in 2023. In the last few months, Mangalore has been given an additional radar, which is now looking at pointed towards Wayanad district. Therefore, they do have a X-band coverage right now, but it is not very adequate. So even if radar maps are available, they are highly technical in nature. Say, for example, you have jargons like DBZ, which talks about the quantity of the intensity of the precipitation that is going to happen. And you can see all those things mentioned in blue color and red color. And in addition to it, even though these maps are available, these are in GIF file format, and this, so they don't carry any geographic information. So even if an individual researcher like me wants to help not just the civilians but also the military people in the Uttarakhand and Himalayan regions, we are not able to develop any softwares, because we primarily want to work with KML, KMZ, which is actually Google supported formats, or at least OpenStreet formats and shape files and so on. And so this and also even in the MOSM app, Android app that is given by IMD, the radar images are only provided as screenshots, and it is not even overlaid on the Google Maps or the OpenStreetMaps. So both are available free of cost today in all Android phones. So spatial analysis or insights are not a sophistication, it is an absolute need. There is a rain alert feature also in the MOSM app, which provides information for a radius of up to only few kilometers based on the current location of the user. It's like saying I want to know only, you are allowed to know only if there lightning or thunder occurs 5-kilometer circle from your current position. Whereas I might be interested to even know whether my parents in Chennai are safe. So the app is highly limited with respect to issuing weather alerts. And in addition to it, as in the case of Wayanad landslide, we saw up to 5 kilometers, 6 million cubic kilometer of debris flow occurred. So this means up to 8 kilometer the land was affected, and giving an alert for just 0.5 kilometer people residing from the impact zone is totally inadequate. And so there is a dire need to immediately open source the radar images, and that this way both commercial apps and non-commercial apps by academic researchers can flood the market, and this is certainly a healthy competition, and thereby we can even provide ward level alerts, which is one of the requirements of the Kerala government. They want every square kilometer alerts, but there is no way that they are able to provide it today. And so also by providing this kind of mechanism, we can feed back all these into the IMD's numerical weather prediction servers. And so one request and suggestion that I as a researcher feel is that all the historical and live radar images, when opened up to public immediately, can really start saving lives across our country. Because after every disaster, we are paying out crores and crores of money as life insurances, and then livelihood losses and so on. So we have the tools, we have the data. All that is required is to have a crowdsourced platform using spatial techniques and spatial informatics based frameworks, and hard to open up to the citizens, and we can surely be as good as developed countries. So these are my thoughts. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah. So there are a number of privately and organizationally managed weather stations around the country, especially in many parts of Kerala as well. The problem here is they cannot be integrated to the central system where the IMD systems where the predictions and their algorithms are running, because each and every system has its own calibrations and its own units. That's a different problem to handle. Again, coming to much more basic level data of maps, when the Wayanad landslide happened, we mapped with the help of OSM data and recent satellite imagery. The ground field our volunteers mapped entire area, and we took that printouts of the map and went to the field. And the officers there was asking us, like, where did you get this map? We used the satellite imageries and we developed the maps, and that's all. Like, because the maps they use are like years old, 10 years or 15 years old. They were surprised to get a wonderful map, a much updated map than what they have, but there was a law or a policy in action, not just in Kerala, it's overall in India, that during this catastrophic time or any disaster time, no such information outside the official source can be used for any such purposes. So there requires a policy level change from all levels, because you have a much updated map where there are much more, like in just one 2-3 watts itself, there was 125 buildings missing in the official map. We didn't went and checked for other area. But that is where like you have a much updated map and the ground field volunteers who are actually going to ready to grassroots level people ready to help was not able to do because of a policy restrictions. So we need things to be changed from the policy levels.
Yeah, absolutely right. I have thought about this too. It's true that numerical weather prediction models cannot be changed to accommodate more and more data on the fly. But then if you take the INSAT satellite itself, they do rapid scans, which whenever they want to focus on localized areas where storms and cyclones are about to hit or flash floods are about to occur. So when the satellite data itself can be accommodated to issue rapid scans for 15 minutes for localized regions, I'm sure IMD's network prediction, numerical weather prediction servers can have a separate system to run for localized regions and integrate these kind of Hume centers 200 rain data. This may not be of really excellent grade in terms of accuracy, or as you mentioned, the units or the sensors used could be a little varying, but nevertheless, in USA they have the citizen science program. I think it's high time we start having such concepts in India too. While the major server keeps running for all India, during at least disaster or potential disaster prone areas, like say for example we know a cyclone is coming, then automatically the coast of Tamil Nadu or Kerala can be zoomed in, and these servers have to run for a limited period, and then the memory and the computational power can be freed up. But we don't have such a citizen science, even though we have a lot of ground data collected by volunteers. But two things that are holding us back is lack of a crowdsourced platform and an intention to embrace it. Yeah, so thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Right. Thank you very much for your time.